Hi everyone, this is Karak with ACG, and today I'm tired, dirty, and a bit flummoxed as I bring you the review for Lego Jurassic World, a Lego game that decided to up all the past Lego games by not only shoving just about everything from their chosen fictionalized universe into the game, but also getting it primed, QA'd, and released on the latest movie's release date, which is actually pretty surprising. Pretty outstanding effort, but let's see if this game is a clever girl, a game that takes pride in its association with not only the prime material in which it exists, but with the respect in which it handles it. Or is it a title that leaves nothing but a massive muddy footprint in your memories, paying and winking its ways through the motions as some have begun to claim of recent Lego titles? Remember, this review is heavily caffeinated, which means just listening has a chance of giving you a contact high. Let's do this. Graphics are up first. It could be because, aside from a couple of their titles, the LEGO games are usually heavily lodged in fictional-looking universes. But I have to say, Jurassic World looks pretty damn good no matter which of the systems or generations you actually play this on. Gone are the eclectic and, for their own right, beautiful and sometimes moody architectures of the superhero titles, and everything's been replaced with a sheer plastic organicness that leaves me feeling that at times Jurassic Park is the most beautiful of all the LEGO games. Whether it's the ripple of muddy Amazon water mixed perfectly to a questionable brown, or the excellent texture work for plants and animals alike, the game really does not pull punches. Fairly quickly, it lodges itself as a great looking game, and a Lego jungle, no matter what you think it might look like, looks pretty damn good. Additionally, because so many of the over 100 characters can impact the land in various ways in disastrous states, the world changes around you, with some characters growing plants to overtake enemies and unlocking unique locations, while others destroy entire childhoods worth of Legos as they climb a single tree. It's that connection with the past, or present, depending on your age and current addiction to Lego, that's handled so perfectly here. Everything just looks right, from the single tree to the entire forest. And of course, this is with all Lego games. The characters and their various outfits, depending on the movie title version, are there, down to the way the areas of the park you never saw probably looked during the movies, and put together organically, they really begin to make you feel right and make you feel there. Here there be giants as well, and some areas stretch across in front of you into the distance, lending a feeling of walking in a land covered in animals that would quite literally poop bigger than you. Excellent throughout, though there is an FPS hit on the Xbox 360 version that is noticeable when you ram tackle an entire mountain of physics-based blocks and try to see if one of them can be put into orbit. But that is about the only issue here, and neither of the next-gen titles showed that issue regardless of what you were doing. Sound, music, and voice.
Well, these cages aren't going to be big enough. You could barely fit a goat in them. Sarah! Sarah! Shoot him! Just protecting their baby.
And of course, of those, sound is up first. A game basing itself not on just the trilogy, but the technical fourth title and the quadology of awesome that is Jurassic Park is gonna have its work cut out for it. And Lego actually handles the sound really well. From the throaty grunts to the shrill shrieks of the various two- and four-legged creatures that want nothing more than to see what you taste like, everything is handled well. The technical and typical Lego sounds abound for construction and destruction of set pieces, but the ambient sound effects, the various almost non-lethal weapons, and everything else just sound great and are mixed well enough so that you can identify who's using what when you're being slammed into the ground for the 100th time by a pissed off Stegosaurus. As always, the rewarding sound of tapping a blue Lego is always welcome in my book. Now to music. Listen, most of this is cribbed directly from the movie, and that means it's absolutely excellent. A soaring score that seems a bit dynamic from point to point as well. The music is just simply excellent and hits all the notes regardless of which of the game locations and even which of the game movies you're playing in. While exploring, there is some experimentation with the popular themes, otherwise your ears would get really tired of the repetitiveness quite quickly, but it's excellently done and really solidifies the atmosphere of being in Jurassic Park. And now we come to voice. Now, this has been something that they've harped on for a bit, talking about what they were doing and how they were going about getting the actual voices from the movies, and all I have to say to that is, ouch. Sure, they got some of the lines from the voice actors, but those lines suffer from various degrees of filter work and cutting that is so noticeable that it becomes impossible not to have to comment on it. Of particular note are some of Alan and John Hammond's lines that actually warble, as you can hear the movie's other effects being filtered out to only leave the voice remaining. That's the cross you have to bear when you steal movie lines, and for some odd reason the game's absolute reliance on not placing the spoken bits in some of the same scenes as they were within the movies means that filter and audio work is required, and at times it is depressingly bad. You know, if not for the fact that they tried, and my hat's off to them, and many times succeeded, this category would be a complete bust. But even those actors whose voices could not be stolen from the movie scenes did a passable job, if slightly unemotional, at delivering classic lines. Adequate at best. Gameplay. First, let's just get this out of the way. I think it'll work to speed up this review. This Lego game has all the same gameplay elements of all the past titles, so consider that the ground floor of the execution here within Jurassic World. Moving on, the Lego games have always been measured on how they respect and reflect their chosen fiction, in alignment with the tried and true Lego gameplay elements that have existed since the first title. In the past, some Lego games just haven't really seemed to put the work in and left many gamers feeling a bit like someone at the developers was just spinning a lotto wheel to pick the next game's environment while bathing luxuriously in the pools of cash brought in by the prior titles. Not so here. You know, the way the game handles the environments, the stunning scenes from the original movies, and the new locations and merges them together is almost masterful. This is coming from someone who finds the Lego games right in the middle ground of current titles, what I like to call the blah category. Games that should be played but shouldn't be forced through, and titles that haven't really matured in their overall gameplay offerings, but are still fun enough for the fans of those particular titles. I have to say, after playing this, I would personally rate the gameplay elements, the capturing of living inside the movies and the world of Jurassic Park, as possibly the closest the Lego games have ever come to their target, which is to deliver the perfect relationship of game and world. For example, something as simply as taking a Jurassic Park Jeep across the wilds is a stunningly enjoyable affair as you smash full speed into the ultra rewarding moments of colorful Lego explosions. You explore the land, uncover puzzles, and just experience a location for what it is without a constant barrage of input. In fact, I think the relative emptiness of Jurassic World pays off hugely compared to prior games, which are not to be looked down upon for being set in urban superhero or largely populated fantasy worlds, but the Jurassic Park world itself just looks and feels differently than anything before it. That doesn't mean there isn't as much to do, because there is. It's just that doing things might actually truly involve expansive exploring, which many prior titles could not add due to their very nature. For me, there's always going to be the interplay of a game's desire to tell a story and a player wanting to play a game, and a video game title will always live and die on the successful or unsuccessful melding of those two desires. Here it seems like someone at the developer stayed up for 400 hours just taking modafinil and writing out entire reams of literature on how best to motivate gameplay and cultivate environment without the desire to suffocate freedom. And the cool thing is, the other developers read it, went, that sounds pretty good, and made the game. Because not only do you end up playing through masterfully placed and really imaginative movie scenes, some of which are actually very intelligent in their designs to add gameplay and puzzles, but you also explore and live outside and inside the Jurassic Park itself, which is a small, fully realized little world with various overworld actions and secrets. Of course, many with the requisite, "you are not the right dude, come back with the guy with the red hat" warning signs. Now, to avoid spoilers for the brand new movie, I'm putting barely any gameplay footage of that movie and that game in this, and I'll talk about it the very least compared to the rest. Needless to say, I felt that the gameplay and strategies and new cool places to explore were easily equal to the original series. Listen, this truly is awesome. For the first time in a great while, many of the side characters have skills and uses that just really haven't felt that needed in prior titles, making more, but not all, of them worthy of collecting. And collecting is, here still, the name of the game. 120 characters, 20 plus vehicles, and a dozen or so odd dinosaurs will have you smashing, slashing, biting, crushing, burning, bonking, and headbutting your way through the levels in a goal to collect just a little bit more currency to purchase just one more thing. However, it is the little additions to Jurassic World that stands above the crowd, I personally think. For example, new to this title, and not surprisingly, as the past games didn't have a bevy of dinosaurs in them because it wasn't called Lego Batman in the Land of the Lost, is this new dino changeroo machine. Basically, it's a big machine that lets you mix and match and create your own dinosaurs, picking heads, bodies, and tails, painting them, changing their DNA strands, and seeing what you get. And let me tell you, I single-handedly stopped evolution a couple of times with some of the wonkiest looking creations that even Mother Nature would have just looked at, seen once, and said, as if. Additionally, Jurassic Park lets you play through some of the levels from the viewpoint of the bad guys. If you're not paying attention, that's technically the dinosaurs, though eating Nedry makes that questionable. But really, the chase scenes are a thing of beauty, with you able to play both as the chasee and, more importantly, the chaser. The dinosaur seeking to eat the sweaty, hot, plasticky, sharp bodies of your enemies as you spring down dirty roads across open fields and otherwise explore the hunter-huntee relationship until someone escapes or someone is eaten. Of notable and positive mention is how the game handles death of main characters. I won't give it away, but I felt that each main character's pseudo-death was handled really well, and again, the tongue-in-cheek of Lego is here in full force. After over 25 hours of gameplay, I didn't feel as if a single character's movie moments really forced my hand or made me feel like the story was cumbersome. Now, as this is a Lego game, though it seems to elevate itself above its predecessors, it does have some of the same issues. Sometimes you can be stuck thinking for a bit in a location, not 100% sure what the developer thought you should be doing to continue the game. While other times the control's lackluster and always loose idea of control means you may end up leaping straight into nothingness like a fledgling bird testing its wings for the first time. It happens. Not more than past titles, but it's still there. Additionally, the overland map gives the appearance of quick travel, but it's actually not that helpful, nor is it that quick, suffering from really somewhat poorly designed usability within the game itself and the dreaded icon hump, where no matter how far you zoom in, 2 or 3 icons just absolutely refuse to disengage from one another, requiring you to click on them, then click on another submenu to choose the one on the bottom. Though free play is offered for any levels beaten, and though it appears that even some of the minor characters have their uses and cool little secrets, I'm still wary of Lego's handling of levels and access. Here you have to play through Jurassic Park to get to 2 to get to 3, but oddly enough, you can go directly to Jurassic World on the tram. And that might be a promotional thing, allowing newcomers to see the newest movie and its tie-in more quickly, but offering you one really feels weird, and I think mixing and matching access leaves an awkward setup to say the least. Fun factor. You know, this title's entire experience was an absolute joy, and yes, I said that about a Lego game, which for me in the past couldn't climb above their inherently loose control scheme and samey experiences. In the past, I've always felt that the Lego game's gameplay never matched up as well with their fictions when compared on the categories of interest and relative longevity versus mimicked longevity, by having so many unlocks that even Mortal Kombat fans shake their head in embarrassment. However, the combination of locations, puzzle work, characterizations of the dinosaurs, and scope just really felt like a perfect match, lodging me for the first time into that feeling I had not felt in a long time. And that's the true enjoyment of exploring a Lego game. Not because I needed more currency, not because I wanted a dude with a new red shirt. It was because it was there. And for the most part, it was genuinely interesting. And that is honestly the best kudo I think I can even give them. So as always, you guys know me, I rate games on a buy, wait for sale, rent, and never talk about it again rating scale. This is indeed a buy. The price slightly fluctuates between the old and the new generation and the PC, and I have to say, after playing both the previous and next-gen versions, and the next-gen versions have some additional effects, no one on past-gen systems is going to be left out, as Jurassic World reflects the movies perfectly, regardless of the system it's experienced on. It's a true classic title for me, and honestly, the very first classic title in the Lego line for me ever. So that's it for me. If you liked the video, hit like. If you disliked it, hit dislike. Go ahead and share us on Twitter if you can, and turn off your ad block even though this is at the very end of the video. Peace out.